Assalamualaikum, Doktor. Assalamualaikum, Doktor Syamsul. Tes.
Morning, insyaAllah.
Doktor Syamsul nanti share screen ke?
Nanti saya share screen insyaAllah.
Okay, alright. Doctor, can we begin? It's 10 o'clock. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Syamsul. Are you ready? Can we begin?
Can. Bila masa sana ready je, saya okey je.
Alright. Okay, we wait for another minute. Just for your information, some will also be joining in YouTube lah.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, Syamsul.
Okay, alright, it's 10:02. Okay, I believe we should begin. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you everyone for joining this session on briefing on micro-credentials. My name is Syamsuddin bin Abdullah and I'll be your host for this event. Inshallah, I'll be monitoring what is happening at Zoom as well as in YouTube. So feel free to actually ask questions either way, either in Zoom or YouTube, inshallah. Okay, if I miss in YouTube, please say if anyone can actually help me identify if there's a question in YouTube, just inform me, inshallah. All right. First, let us begin our event with Kitab Al-Fatihah. All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I thank you all again for coming. Okay, Dr. Syamsul, especially our Deputy Dean, Academic, Dr. Izlihar, okay,
Thank you.
academic members, HOD, lecturers, administrative staff as well. Okay, because all are invited here.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you.
We meet again, Dr. Syamsul.
Jumpa lagi sekali.
I don't know. Do you still remember me or not?
Ingat lagi.
Okay, so nice to have all friends there.
Saya kacau Syamsuddin banyak dulu.
Okay. All right. Bismillah. Okay. So this is a briefing on micro-credential. So just a mini introduction because I believe that most of the time should be dedicated for Dr. Syamsul and the Q&A. So a brief introduction will be micro-credential according to MQA. According to MQA, micro-credential is a certification of learning of a smaller set of courses or modules or unit, which are designed to provide learners with knowledge, skills, and value and competency in a narrow area of study or practice. So MC is something that is already been, internationally implemented, particularly, and UIA is currently right now taking it seriously. And just recently, I believe it's this year, that the micro-credential unit under the purview of academic Deputy Rector Academic and Internationalization, that they established this micro-credential unit, and it is headed by Dr. Syamsul Bahrin that we have for us today. So inshallah we'll be listening to this briefing first, and any questions inshallah should be posted in the chat or in the YouTube as well. I will try my best to also juggle between Zoom and YouTube to make things clear inshallah. And inshallah for the lecturers, because I have been informed that few lecturers who are interested in this, they are requesting recorded session or YouTube. So the YouTube link is already pasted. Is available there so that for those who have classes, they are going to be able to catch up again, inshallah. Okay, so without further delay, I would like to invite Dr. Syamsul Bahrin, the head of the unit, micro-credential unit, to actually deliver his briefing. Tafadhal, mashkur.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you everybody and thank you again CFS for inviting me kalau ikutkan for the micro-credential because last time saya kacau pasal audit je.
Okay. We appreciate your comment.
Yeah, but this time we are trying to actually promote micro-credential. This is the roadshow lah. Kalau ikutkan, I've gone through one by one punya kuliah KCDIM. So kalau ikutkan saya dah habis cover Kuantan. Kuantan officially dah habis. So now tinggal CFS, Paguh pun dah habis. So kalau one CFS finish today, Kuantan already finished yesterday, and then Paguh already finished 2 weeks back. So kalau ikutkan once finish CFS today, meaning that off campus daripada other than Gombak already covered lah sebenarnya. So today consider macam Pahang punya last day punya CFS lah, last day punya briefing lah. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope that those who are listening from YouTube as well as from Zoom could actually see the screen. Boleh nampak?
Yes, yes.
Boleh nampak kan?
Clear.
Boleh.
Okay.
Clear.
So what happened is I'm trying to actually give micro-credential in a form that, because micro-credential could be done by those from academics, those from support, as well as those from admin. So everybody could actually do micro-credential sebenarnya. So that's why I'm trying to make the coverage of micro-credential to cover along all spectrum. Kalau ikutkan lah, so one is to cover everybody, every staff. Another one is to cover every courses that we could actually offer. So that one is the idea lah when we want to do micro-credential. So maknanya it's not only on the academic punya courses, but any courses. Nanti kita akan tengok lah what courses yang kita boleh buat semua sekali. Sebenarnya anything under the sun. So why I cover awal-awal ni with oranges banyak-banyak, and then ada banyak orange kat situ, and then dia ada orange yang dah buka tu, ada orange kat tepi tu, because that is the concept of micro-credential that we're going to see. So imagine when we start, the oranges yang banyak-banyak tu, the one that you see all those oranges tu, is a program a program that you are currently running. So tak kisahlah, maksudnya mungkin for CFS will be the foundation program, the whole foundation program itself, the whole foundation program, maksudnya ada 10 ke 15 courses tu, the whole foundation program, that is the one that we are considering, the whole orange banyak-banyak tu, that is what it is. Nanti later kita tengok what does micro-credential entails about. So the whole thing is the whole program, orange banyak-banyak tu. So, but before we go into MC per se, we are trying to actually give the why to everybody that we need to do micro-credential. I think that is the most important part. Lepas lama briefing berkali-kali ni, it seems like at the end of my briefing, people still don't feel the why to do it. So more towards lah ni nak kena buat ni, all the mechanism of it, but don't feel why we need to actually do it. So kalau ikutkan why we have a micro-credential is because based on one of the things is the Ghana top strategic technology trend. By 2023, 40% organisation, maksudnya macam UIA ni, will blend virtual and physical experiences. So leading to increased productivity lah, so and customer reach. I think this is the key element why we start to do micro-credential and why we need to start to do micro-credential. Because by next year and onwards, 40% organization will start to do blend virtual and physical. Because not as much as because of COVID. One is COVID started the journey. However, once COVID already finished, most organization will still move on into that line. Because one is a lot of issue lah, a lot of things lah. One is probably ada setengah takut lagi. There are certain arrangement already being done, and Google have done this for a very long time, and it's doing very well. So kalau ikutkan, and then most of the companies pun, I mean like Petronas, like my colleagues semua, up until now they did not go to the office 100% of the time lah. Kalau ikutkan, this is 100% currently. So to move into 40% is nothing lah. To move back to 40% is nothing. So I think that is the thing that gonna be the trend between virtual and physical. So with that, one of the thing is the learning process will actually be going into virtual and physical. Not only the working process, but the learning process will go into that particular mode as well. Because now people do not need to go to short courses, pergi mana-mana tempat for them to actually start learning lah.
Correct.
So the next one is we are talking about top strategic technology trends for 2021. Where we have three main concepts here from Ghana. One is people centricity, location independent, and resilient delivery. So when we talk about, I'll just capture a few main important ones for micro-credential at least. So the first one is people centricity. So when we talk about people centricity, we talk about Internet of Behaviors, at least the first step. When we talk about Internet of Behaviors, it's all about how are our behavior using the internet. So I think that is key element inside the people centricity. In that case, using micro-credential, kalau kita guna micro-credential, we could actually identify which are the good learner, good student, poor student, and so on. Because once we use a system, for example, like micro-credential platform, all the data that is being generated by student could be captured, task, there could be a data analytics doing to it. So we could actually see how long does this student A spend on video A, video B, video C, video E, and so on and so on. How long did they spend to actually communicate among the colleague, among the friends inside the platform? So that one we could actually see that, and so on lah. Maksudnya berapa lama video, how many attempts they have on the quiz, how many attempts they have on this particular activity, and so on. A lot of things. So imagine, people centricity is the key element why Netflix is so successful. Imagine why Netflix is so successful. Is the main reason is they could actually know every minute by minute, hour by hour, where do you stop your video, what type of video, how long do you open the video. That is one. And Spotify are doing the same thing. How long do you listen to that song? When do you stop? When do you skip? And all those data effectively are being sold, quote unquote, to the producers, to the music writers, to the thing. So they know already my song bagus, my song tak bagus, and so on. That is the same thing that we could do to our learners. We could see which are the good learner, which are the poor learner, and how we could actually help this learner together. That one is one. Another one is location independent. Maknanya with micro-credential, we could have anywhere operation. With that sense, maksudnya kita boleh buat online anywhere lah. So online could be anywhere lah. So that's one part of it. And the last one is, I'll put it under AI and hyper automation. Dua-dua sekali. One is hyper automation, meaning that we could automate most of the process. Maksudnya, in a sense, last time we are thinking about macam mana nak ambil attendance lah, apalah. Now the attendance are automated. Tak perlu nak fikir pun. When student login, attendance is there. They don't login, meaning that they don't login lah. So they login automatically. They have an attendance sheet. How long even they login is attendance there. And AI engineering is more towards how can we improve our education system? How can we improve our delivery through AI, through artificial intelligence? How can we improve the delivery of our physics, chemistry through more interactive learning through AI interaction? So I think that is one of the things that we need to actually put in forward for the trend forward lah.
Just one question, Dr. Syamsul. Okay. Yeah. The platform, this AI platform, whatnot, is the university ready for it?
The university, tak, benda ni nanti the AI part needs to be developed by the creators. The one is on the delivery part, but we are going to actually most of the activities we actually use H5P. So most of the item in H5P could be actually integrated, and how we want to actually implement that lah.
Okay. I have read a lot about this what you call MC, but then the platform though.
Betul. The platform
are we ready about the platform?
The platform tu nanti kita akan tengok. Currently we have a very basic platform. Later on we're going to see how slowly based on feedback daripada creator and learner what we could actually improve further. Memang for sure lah.
Thank you.
But the first one, we're going to do minimum viable product for the platform, and then slowly we're going to improve what is required. We're going to do more coding, apa ke kita boleh buat lah, and so we're going to work with our ITD lah to actually improve those further. Okay, so coming back next to the sustaining innovation and the disruptive innovation. So one is what we are moving now is on the sustaining innovation. So maknanya what we are teaching, kita ada 100 student, 50 student coming in to our class. Those are all currently under sustaining innovation. Same thing when people are doing manufacturing outside, when they're doing whatever job they're doing there that we are trying to help. Those are all sustaining innovation. So, but what we are trying to actually worry really now, moving onwards, is all the disruptive innovation that actually comes in our way. So because disruptive innovation creates new market, innovation is dynamic, and then market is unpredictable. So when there is a disruptive innovation, definitely they need to be an upskill, they need to be a reskill, or at the end of the day, we be out of skill. So this goes both ways. One is on the public, on the community itself. So the community need to upskill, the community need to reskill, or they be out of skill. That is one. And we ourselves as academics in academia need to upskill, reskill, or we will also be out of skill. So I think these are the two portions. I mean, we are not talking about upskilling outside. We also need to figure out how to upskill ourselves. So I think that is the part. We need to actually say that yes, outside need to upskill, reskill, but we need to actually upskill ourselves and reskill ourselves to make sure that we are new technologies that they're going to disrupt all the things that we do lah. So for example, some of the disruption that we already see is about the internet, big data analytics is already there, 3D printing is already there, robotics there, and then coming on, moving forward, they will start pushing for smart cities, they start pushing for more sharing economy, and they start pushing at the end of artificial intelligence. So that one is all moving forward in terms of technology lah. So when we talk about disruptive innovation in education, it's already started. Bukan cakap tak start, it's already started. So because disruptive innovation in terms of camera already changed to mobile phone, and then Blockbuster last time, now closed already. Everybody moved to Netflix and all the streaming media, and then taxi already moved to Uber and Grab. So all those, and then Airbnb, hotel actually moved to Airbnb, and all those disruptive technology already comes in. And in our domain, I think everybody have seen all this, some or all of this logo. Coursera is one of the biggest platform in Microcretial. That is one. That is the one that already start to disrupt every academic life, every academics, I think, with all the answer schemes. So that one check already start to disrupt all academics. Go Guardian, Kahoot actually helps. And then Rosetta Stone and Duolingo actually start to disrupt all the language, because now they could actually learn language on their own without the need for lecturers. So imagine all this disruption. Masterclass already there for all the skills. So imagine all this disruption already comes in. And like, for example, edX already work out with all the big universities, and then FutureLearn already start to work out all the big universities. And then sooner or later, this actually will move into a new domain of learning, new domain of credential, or new domain of certificate that we're going to give. So that is moving to the future. So imagine if we don't go with the disruption, sooner or later people may not need to have a single engineering course, engineering bachelor. They want multiple engineering bachelor degree that have multiple skills, so that they could work in different skills in the workplace. So that is a concept that is moving forward, and some of the Western nation already start that already. So top 5 trends that will disrupt education in 2020 and beyond. The first one is millennials. I think CFS already know this very well. Millennials want more personalized education. Everything is about them. So they want more personalized. More personalized education. We need to have a more data-driven insight. What can we help individual learners? They need a more accessible education anywhere, anytime, because their life are all about digital native, so they want it now. And then more automation and online tracking, as well as more immersive technology or education. So this is done through AR and VR. So this is where all the micro-credential, as well as us as IHL content creator, need to figure out how we could actually develop the AR, VR, and all this immersive education. So 5 ways that EdTech is democratizing education. So the best educators in the world are now available to anyone, not only in the different universities, so they could access those. I mean, imagine now we could access professors from Harvard, from Oxford. So we could actually access, so effectively everybody else could actually access to those experts as well. Students can easily access personalized assessment and feedback. So this is one of the key elements. EdTech improve the quality of interaction. So it's more interaction. I mean, rather than the standard class where we go into a lecture, 50 orang, 100 orang, 200 orang. So we actually lecture, and at the end of the day, 5 people, 10 people come in front and then interact with us. Now with EdTech, with education technology, assuming like through Kahoot, through Padlet, for example, those two are the start of EdTech. For example, those two actually improve the interaction between teachers and the student already, because now every student, 60 of them, 100, 200 of them could actually respond together in that particular platform. Rather than if you were to ask 200 students, it's not possible to do that in a 1.5 hours class, 1 hour class. But now with that particular technology, we could actually interact with them. Knowledge and information is available for free or at low cost, and then students can access communities of experts. So think these are what attack democratized education. So however, ini kita letak gambar orang kahwin. However, the most worrying part is like getting into marriage. Macam mula-mula kahwin dulu, we do not know our husband, we do not know our wife, we do not know how we want to move forward. Nanti duit cukup ke tak, and then whether we're gonna go into divorce or not, dan sebagainya. All the worry comes in. So this is where we are at the journey on Microcretial, and this is where we are at the journey of starting this particular platform and moving forward. It's like just getting started in marriage, kita tak tahu apa-apa lagi. We do not know how well or how bad the marriage would be, but we jump it with a leap of faith. So that is the idea when I want to put. That's why dia ada gambar yang ni, so that everybody could imagine. Same thing, siapa yang tak kahwin lagi tu boleh imagine nanti bila dia kahwin lah. So dalam platform ni. But those already like 20, 30 years of marriage, they know that there are ups and downs, and there are also leap of faith when we start. Because we do not know what will happen. Memang awal-awal tu nampak macam tak ada isu. So, and then when we talk about disruptive technology, it's all about us being different compared to the rest. So we are the one light bulb that lights up and the rest did not. So that is what disruptive technology is all about. People will say we are weird. Why we start in that direction? Because we are disrupting the rest of the technology. So that is what it is. So we are not supposed to be so worried showing that why people there don't agree, here don't agree, there don't agree. Of course, because it's a new market, people are not used to it, and it's like getting marriage. Semua orang masa awal-awal tak setuju. You do not know whether, I mean, some don't like the bride that they have, some don't like the parents don't like, probably ada issue dan sebagainya, but you still move on. So on top of that, when we talk about that, 76% of professional, this is the keyword, 76% of professional, this is taken from LinkedIn. So 76% of professional wish there was a way for employers to verify their skill so that they stand out among other candidates. So this is key element, because what the keyword there is, one is stand out, another one that is bold there, supposed to be, is verify. So they want to be stand out and they want to be able to verify. So stand out through YouTube is possible. So maknanya YouTube they learn semua, yes. But who can verify that you have learned through YouTube? I don't think the YouTube creator, content creator can cakap tiba-tiba, yes, I give you a certificate that you understand all the content in my channel. Or you have subscribed and you understand the content. However, UIA could actually give that. UIA could verify that the skill actually being achieved, the learning outcome being achieved. Therefore, this particular badge or this particular credential could be used to stand out among all other candidates. Whenever they want to go for promotion, whenever they want to actually showcase that they are better than the rest of the colleague and so on. So they could, or whenever they say that I have all the skills that I could use to actually get this job, meaning that their new project. So they could actually show that. So that is the idea when we talk about the professional are trying to actually stand out. They want to have a different type of job scope. They want to have a different type of work. They want to actually get additional perks of different type of work. So they could actually use the verification of our micro-credential so that they could actually stand out. So this is where they could actually upskill or reskill themselves and show that they are not out of skill, so that they are better compared to their colleagues. So, and then I'll talk about here, this guy here. Imagine that this guy is the one who are currently working. So Amir, what Amir wants is he wants a flexible education. Generally, those people outside there, when they talk about micro-credential, is because they want a flexible education. They may taken a degree now, or they have a master's now, but what happened is they want to actually up their skill up. So from diploma to degree to master's to PhD, but they want it on a flexible education basis. So meaning that rather than going into I'm working now, rather than I may need to actually spend 4 years in IHL, Institution of Higher Learning, he wants to do it while he's working. So how he could actually do that? Through micro-credential. So he wants to do that while he's working. He wants to do that while learning and doing the job, doing whatever job that he has, while actually working and improving the job that he has, while paying the job, while ensuring that he has some work to do. So that one, he wants a flexible education. He also wants a faster competency. Amir wants to make sure that whenever he took his job, he needs to learn some new competencies that he needs to. So therefore, he will actually go through either through YouTube or some other equivalent of YouTube, or to show the competency, he will go to Microcretial, so that there is a verification of his competency. But it needs to be done faster, meaning that it needs to be really focused and bite-sized and personalized. So that's what it means by faster competency, meaning that it's not to say that I'm going to take 3 months to learn this one. It needs to be, okay, this is the thing that I want. I need, for example, I need to know how to do A, B, C in Excel, and then I learn that competency, I get the competency, and that's it. Then I want to find another competency to learn, then another competency to learn. So the micro-credentials are supposed to be designed in a very focused and very transparent and very direct manner. It's not to say like the full course sampai berbulan-bulan belajar. So generally, they want a faster competency. So, and then they want it convenient, i.e. online lah, convenient. So Amir want it convenient. He want to do whenever he like it, rather than he are being forced to go into 8-hour journey, 12-hour journey in a class, or need to travel to different locations. So he want it convenient, he want it dynamic. Dynamic meaning that if there is any change, then he could actually move forward, because he may have some work that he needs to do, so he cannot keep on going into 8-hour class. So he needs to make it some dynamic movement in that. So affordable and demand driven lah. So affordable definitely lah, because this needs to be affordable to them, as well as demand driven. So meaning that what are the demand that they have. So that is what Amir want in this case. So we need to figure out how we could actually help Amir to get their micro-credential, or to help him in this case. So tools for educators is a self-paced, self-learn. And then Gen Z and millennials are digital native. So that one is granted. So meaning that we need to somehow almost become pseudo digital native. Because we are not digital native, but we need to be able to use all the digital technology to actually help these generations. Use of analytics, and then include digital and modern tools in education. As well as the last one is information. Need to remember, information is everywhere for educators. For educators as well as for learners. So our work now has shifted from dissemination of knowledge into facilitation of thought process. So meaning that, yes, they could actually learn from internet. Yes, they could actually learn from YouTube. They could actually learn from podcasts and so on. But how do we facilitate their thought process? I think that is a key element now, because they may learn something. They may learn physics from the internet, but that thing have a facilitation of their thought process. So we need to facilitate what they learn from the internet, what they learn from the YouTube, what they learn from outside. So how can we facilitate their thought process? I think that is the key thoughts now when we talk about IR4, when we talk about the new generation, when we talk about moving forward in terms of teaching and learning. So, and the next part is we are talking about developing through and across context, situation, time frame, possibles, and experiences of our life. So micro-credential are all moving in 2 prongs. One is moving to the future. That one is through lifelong learning. So what can we offer as a lifelong learning from, say, degree ataupun daripada sekolah menengah? If you want to cover from sekolah menengah, even sekolah rendah, because Han Academy are doing it from sekolah menengah, sekolah rendah. So what we could do actually from primary, moving up until they finish their degree, master's, PhD, and almost die. Because die, then you don't need to have the micro-credential anymore. So what do they need to learn among all the lifelong learning? That is one part of the portion that we need to actually think about. What are the modules that we could offer? For example, in terms of lifelong learning, saya boleh cakap in terms of lifelong learning, probably in that case, I know that this is not masjid. I'm talking about one of the module that we could actually talk about is probably macam mana now since the COVID case dan kita nak kena ke bumi ramai orang, and then how to actually manage grief. So we could actually have all the module about managing grief, module about managing managing death, and so on and so on and so on. That could be the module on family and home on a lifelong learning process. However, in terms of present, katakanlah we are talking about now for those 30, 40-year-old, for example, we're talking present. So what are the formal education module that we could give? What are the work module that we could give? What are the family module that we could give? Or what are the interest module that we could give? So those are the whole spectrum of module that we could actually support or give to the community. So I think that is the main idea that when we are talking about micro-credential, how can we support the community as well as the rest of the global ummah on all these things? And remember, this is the key feature that I keep on trying to tell, or the unit is trying to actually expose. Yes, some actually say, why should we do it again? Because Harvard have done, and then some other Coursera have done, that guy have done, that guy have done, that guy have done. Yes, all those guys have done. I give you a simple example. Macam contohnya, apa ni, Prof. Syamsul did the gender dysphoria, proposed the gender dysphoria micro-credential. What happened is, yes, it's the same gender dysphoria that actually being taught by the West, being taught by different universities, and being taught by everybody else. However, the big difference when we from UIA or we from the Muslim nation or we from Malay punya community kalau yang buat, or different other communities yang buat, other races yang buat, is the worldview. Imagine, a Muslim worldview will have a totally different way of tackling gender dysphoria compared to the West, compared to Arab, compared to Bangladesh, and so on and so on. Because every single nation and every single country have different thought process on this. So that's where when we are trying to give a micro-credential, it's not only we're going to give the content, we are incidentally, either direct or indirectly, giving our worldview to the learners as well, so that they understood what are the worldview that we are trying to actually push forward. So that is the key element that we are trying to actually have, because every single type of creators, we have their own worldview. So that is why, although the micro-credential is there already, see who are the new market, as well as what are the worldview that we could actually give to them, the different thought process or the different worldview. So coming back to this orange, coming back to orange ni yang kita bagi awal-awal tadi, satu big orange, awal-awal tadi ada banyak orange, and now we change into a single orange, and then now we have a single slice of orange. So what is this all about? When we talk about all the oranges now, a lot of oranges just now, that one is a program. And then when we talk about the single orange, sebiji orange ataupun apa ni, nak saya sebut sebuah orange, which is interesting lah, penat nak betulkan dia. So sebiji orange, so what happened is that one is considered a cost in our program. And then micro-credential is just a peel of that particular orange. That's how small micro-credential. That's why we call it micro-credential. It's not the whole program, meaning that multiple orange there. It's not a single orange. It's a slice of those orange. That is what micro-credential is all about. Micro-credential is a slice of those orange. So imagine if you have that big orange is 3 or 4 credit hours, the biggest micro-credential that you could actually create is actually 1 credit hours. That is the biggest size that you could create, the biggest micro-credential. And the smallest micro-credential is 4 SLT hours, meaning that 4 SLT hours, 0.4 credit hours. Betul? No, 0.04 credit hours. 4 credit hours, yeah, 0.4 credit hours. So the smallest that you could create is a 0.4 credit hours or 4 SLT. And the biggest that you could create is 40 credit hours or 40 SLT hours of 1 credit hours. So that is the biggest micro-credential. And if we actually put different micro-credential together, we consider a stack of micro-credential is equivalent to the orange. Why we say equivalent is because when we actually peel off the orange, we may actually lose all the skin outside, but we have all the content. The content is still the same, the outcome is still the same, but all the skin tu nak kena peel lah. So when we peel the skin is not equivalent 100%, it's almost equivalent. the taste are the same, the feel are the same, tapi the skin are not there. So it's still not an orange. It's still a peel of orange being combined together. So I think that is what we need to be clear on micro-credential. So the basic of micro-credential, if we were to cover the basic of micro-credential, is we need to learn, reflect, practice, show mastery, and display. I think that is a basic concept of micro-credential. So whenever we are trying to give micro-credential is for the learner to learn, and then they need to reflect, they need to do some practice. So whatever activity it is, they need to show mastery. So how we show mastery is they need to actually do certain artifacts, maknanya learning artifact. They need to do certain, we need to actually give them assessment so that they could actually show their mastery. And then they could display their credential. That's what it's all about. That is a very basic of micro-credential. Learn, reflect, practice, mastery, and display. So what is the difference between micro-credential and open learning? So the difference between those two is ODL, open distance learning, we give them a full certificate for the program. Micro-credential, we only give them a micro badge. So micro badge, so meaning that either a micro-credential badge or a course for the digital credential punya badge, a course for the digital credential. So dua tu. So one is personalized, one is on a cohort basis. So one is 40, 50 or 100 people. Another one is self-paced, self-learn, personalized learning. One is full-time, so it's like 140 credit hours and so on. Another one is bite-sized, maximum of 3 credit hours. So those are the big differences. And another big differences is ODL, open distance learning, is a full program. So it could be accredited on its own. However, micro-credential is not a full program. Therefore, these courses needs to be transfer credit to an accredited program. But you could transfer, according to MQA, you could transfer the whole micro-credential courses into a program. Maknanya you could change the whole learning from normal class into micro-credential, or from ODL into micro-credential, meaning that 100% could be done through micro-credential. It's possible. But when we start the journey, as in any marriage, we won't actually do that. Maknanya kita takkan cakap awal-awal kata, I want to go into IV yang mana kita nak ada 10 orang anak. Because I said we want to have first, learn how it is, second, learn how it is, and so on. So that is what it is all about. So in this case, what we are proposing is to start with 4 hours micro-credential courses, professional or personal development. I'm not saying that if you want to do academic, fine, do academic, no problem. But why I'm proposing for at least to start with professional or personal development, minimum of 4 hours, is because we want everybody to start to learn the process on how to build a micro-credential. I think that is more important for everybody to see how can I build the micro-credential and how can I contribute, what is micro-credential can I build, so that we could actually go through the journey daripada awal sampai habis. Daripada initial proposal sampai our module dah in catalog. So once already your module is in catalog, then yes, by all means, pergilah buat one whole program ke, one whole course ke, whatever it is, no problem. Because then you already know how to actually build the micro-credential. I think that is a key element that I'm trying to actually give. Because masa awal-awal ni is a bit scary. Because nanti when somebody send to me a proposal and then I say this one need to adjust, kadang-kadang ada hantar 2 kali kena adjust, 3 kali kena adjust. I mean it's a bit scary and it's a bit tiring for some. Kalau mana yang dah faham terus, then it's okay. So that's why I want to give I want everybody to start the journey with the easiest module possible, so that we are not frustrated and so that at least we have a success on at least that very small module. Because kalau tak nanti saya akan tunjuk some of the one yang micro-credential committee asked to resubmit. Those are all full-fledged academic module yang mana sampai berjam-jam and then at the end asked to resubmit, and then they submit a one-off module which is academic or still academic, but most of them convert to professional development. So I think that is why I'm proposing that. But if you want to do academic, no issue lah sebenarnya. I won't actually hold that. So who are the stakeholders? So kita ada creators, learners, instructors, issuers, and users. So our focus now is on the creators. Because why? Without the creator yang nombor satu yang start the light bulb ni, the rest of the ecosystem doesn't exist. Nombor 2, 3, 4, 5 tu doesn't exist. So I'm talking to and I'm going briefing to and I'm hoping that we get more creators. Because without the number one that actually start the engine or actually light the light bulb, in that case, in this case, light the light bulb, without that light bulb being actually be available, being light up, the rest 2, 3, 4, 5 memang tak ada. So we need more creators, we need more people to be micro-credential creators in UIA. So creators is the one that build the module, learner, use, instructor yang bagi assessment and activity, issuer is the one yang UIA lah. So, but creators and instructors are two separate things because creators actually develop the content in micro-credential platform. Instructors are the one that actually work with the learners. Because creator may not work with the learner pun. Dia tak semestinya. They may actually train instructor, lepas tu dia dah buat siap, dia cakap, okay, now is your job. Could be that. Or creator is the instructor. So depend how you want to actually run the micro-credential. So principle ni saya dah cover tadi, so outcome, personalize, assess, tag, demand, transparent, so all those just now lah. So needs to assess everywhere, personalize, so self-pay, self-learn. The micro-credential itself, the credential itself needs to be secure and shareable. So I think that is the whole idea of it. So and then it is an outcome based. So when we talk about disruptive technology, we are talking about like Airbnb, Fiverr, and Uber. That already comes in. And imagine this disruptive innovation already comes into the domain of education. So at the end of the day, we hope rather than we become like the taxi driver complain about Grab or Uber yang datang dulu, and we are academics, so we should not be backbiting, cakap macam, I mean, different level then it's fine, tapi we should not be the same like what the taxi driver is doing or what the hotelier is doing, that complain now as somebody take my business, somebody take my business. Nanti sooner or later, if we don't do it right, then we will be saying the same thing. Another company already took all our business because students pergi kat tempat lain. So then rather than we say that people going to somewhere else, then might as well we start to do something about it now through micro-credential and say that yes, USM ke UKM ke tak kisah universiti lain nak complain, but then at least UIA we say that yes, the student now comes to UIA through micro-credential and they are moving into a new platform. So we have from the traditional platform is running there, and we have also new learners into the new platform. So tak apalah. So we don't see any issue, meaning that people are moving into both of our platform. So either the sustaining innovation are actually still being sustained, and the disruptive innovation are actually being run as well. So that is where we want to actually have both. So about other universities, it's up to them if they want to complain. But at least from UIA perspective, we should not complain. We should do something about it. We should lead the way in something new. I think that is the way forward lah. So what we are trying to actually push it in is education without boundary. So we want to have education without boundary, meaning that UIA degree or UIA courses, termasuklah CFS, if they could actually do it without going to Gambang. So meaning that they could actually do program without going to the location. Cuma now we need to verify whether there is resident requirement in any of our program. Itu sahaja. Maknanya whether there is a resident requirement, maksudnya kadang-kadang ada setengah universiti ni dia letak kata you need to be at least 6 months in that location or 1 year in that location, the resident requirement. So if there is no resident requirement, then maknanya we could do the whole thing through micro-credential. Why not? But if there is a resident requirement, which is understood because it is going to be weird saying that I am a UIA graduate that never stepped foot in UIA campus. Pelik lah juga. I've studied everything UIA punya curriculum, but how is UIA punya campus? How do you like it? And then how's the people there? No, I never been to the campus. So I think there is that personally for me, even though we want to do education without boundary that we ask everybody to do through micro-credential, there need to at least be some minimum residency requirement lah, at least for the learner to be in campus kejap. Tak kisahlah kita nak cover 3 bulan ke 6 bulan ke, at least 1 semester or 2 semester ke, depending on how we plan. So at least they are in campus just to feel that they are part of the community as a UIA community. Itu je sebenarnya. Kalau tak nanti they take semua micro-credential, bila orang tanya how is UIA, how's the campus, how's life, how's food dekat Mahala, how's food dekat ni, semua tak tahu. So that one will be a bit, I mean it's okay kalau education point of view, but on the learning part tu, experience part tu tak adalah. So that is the part that every single KCDIM need to figure out whenever they do education without boundary lah. So, but we really push for education without boundary and be the first mover. Adik dalam tu.
Okay.
So revenue sharing, revenue sharing. So this is where probably where the dean is actually interested in, as well as the liaison officer and the rest will be interested in. So revenue sharing for micro-credential, we arrange in such a way that 30% is to UIA, 30% is to UIA. So that one is a standard minimum UIA punya requirement lah selalunya. And then 15% is micro-credential unit. So this is when we need to actually maintain the platform, upgrade the platform, and then manage all the courses kalau ada kena ada buat training kepada siapa yang berkenaan. This is where all these things will actually come in lah later. So and then 9% of the collection goes to KCDIM. So meaning that KCDIM in this case termasuklah CFS lah. 9% goes to CFS. 1% goes to the liaison officer. And then 45% goes to the creators. So that is how we arrange the revenue sharing. So meaning that the kuliah or the KCDIM, whichever the module is, we get about 9%. And the liaison officer, this is their job to make sure that they have more modules to figure out. So the more for the KCDIM, the more for them lah. Itu je lah. So this is where the revenue sharing. So any question? Ke saya boleh continue ini?
Okay.
There are 2 questions, by the way, in the YouTube here. Let me cite. The first question is by brother Shaukat. He asked, are we using Moodle or will we develop our own LMS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Similar to my question just now.
Okay. At the moment, now we are using Moodle. Now we are using Moodle engine. Because for example, now we are using Moodle engine. Because for example, even the edX atau edX are using their own edX open platform, and now currently we are using Moodle engine. However, in the long term, there is a plan untuk national wide punya micro-credential platform, Malaysia punya level. So we have not opted to that yet because currently we are trying to get as much module as possible before we move into the national level punya platform when they are ready. Because currently UM is actually mooting out to have a national level platform because for a simple reason, because we are trying to actually figure out national level, they are trying to figure out how do we interchange micro-credential antara UIA, USM, UTM, UPM dan sebagainya supaya katakanlah saya ambil micro-credential dekat UPM, dekat UIA, and then I want my micro-credential to be accepted by UPM, so it needs to be some platform that actually integrate all those. Correct. So memang ada plan untuk national level, that is one. And then we're going to see how the plan is lah. So national level ni kadang 2 tahun, 3 tahun, 5 tahun pun saya tak tentu. So what happened is, while waiting for the national platform, we will actually use our own micro-credential platform, which is using a Moodle engine, which all the features of LMS lah, kalau ikutkan dalam tu. All the LMS punya engine is there inside. And if, for example, if there is any requirement daripada any of the creators to upgrade or update apa-apa berkenaan, the add-ins for the Moodle yang berkenaan tu, we will actually work out with CPD, Center Professional Development, see how we could actually improve that and moving forward lah. So that is the 2 parallel thing that we're trying to do lah. One, UM is developing, proposing a national punya platform, which we did not subscribe yet till now. Disebabkan Kita tak tahu bila dia nak dapat that platform, but once we have the enough module coming in, then if we feel that is good for us, we'll get feedback daripada creators as well, see whether who wants to move, then kita akan move lah. Because once we move into the national platform, bear in mind the revenue sharing semua akan start adjust lah, disebabkan kita kena share dengan national punya platform punya revenue sharing kan. So that is the part nanti kita akan discuss balik lah. But at the moment, it's 100% controlled by UIA, and we are trying to pilot everything using Moodle engine. And kalau ikutkan, kita dah siap dah pun, the platform tu dah siap dah pun. I'll show you the platform later on and see how we could actually move on from there lah. Plus dengan, I think everybody already use with Moodle, so hopefully cepatlah nak develop the content tu. Boleh, I mean, there is an option to use edX, which Open edX. So this is what the national platform will be using lah. Open edX platform, Open edX engine. So how does the journey look like? So any other question lagi, Syam? Tak ada?
Yes, there's one more. I believe you highlighted this already, but just in case to highlight the gist, Brother Nohaidi asked, is it the same with MOOC? And
same with MOOC?
MOOC, yes.
Okay.
MOOC.
This one MOOC, my Massive Open Online Courses. This one I'll answer at the end nanti, because there is a big debate. Tiap satu tempat tanya different antara MOOC dengan MC. This one I'll answer when we finish the briefing lah. MOOC dengan MC. I'll answer that one. The difference and the debate, the philosophical part and so on lah. Because yang tu even national level ada question. Not only our level, but national level pun tengah nak finalize which is which. Nantilah saya cerita lepas habis ni. So now how the journey is kita ada initial proposal, full proposal, lepas tu develop content. That is a basic journey. Meaning that whatever it is, bila nak start, we're going to start with submitting initial proposal to, kalau dah ada liaison officer, to liaison officer, maksudnya to Syamsuddin. Kalau tak ada, then maksudnya submit direct dekat office saya. Tapi for now, probably will submit to my office terus lah, because if not nanti need to help apa? We need to actually train and then do a TOT untuk Brother Syamsuddin. Nanti kalau tak, nanti orang tanya terkejut-terkejut dia nanti. So once the training is done, we have a meeting this Friday kan, betul tak? This Friday petang. Once the training is done, the discussion, kita present strategic direction, all things is done semua. Then we could actually do it to the kuliah lah, KCDRM lah. So until then probably just send it all directly to the office, to my office, to MCU. So maknanya then we work from there lah. So tapi kita akan hantar through website sebenarnya. So either way nanti kita akan bagi access kepada all Microcretial liaison officer to see the content pun.
Dr. Syamsul, just one question.
Yes.
It's not necessarily academic in nature, because just now you mentioned that the program can be professional program, something like that, isn't it?
Betul.
It can be, for example, let's say, because for example, just now you give example from the mosque, isn't it?
Betul,
so we have almost every day we have tazkirah, whatnot. No, we can have that as a module, If
can. Boleh.
That can be another microcredential course, isn't it? Boleh. Because I think itulah we need to tell everybody lah, because in this group we have all the admin and so on. So because when people say microcredential, now people are looking at the academics only. Since
tahu tak? That's why nanti saya.
we want to itulah. I want you to highlight that it's not that it means it falls on us only academics, but it can be everybody. The mosque can contribute, the administrator can contribute, because as you mentioned just now, lifelong learning. For example, like me lah, I'm already 50. I don't know how long I can live. It means that I want to learn new skills, isn't it? So these are the things, kan? So these are the things that I want to learn. I want to learn about this. So this, I think the way forward is good, but I think everybody must have in mind that this does not fall only on academics, because what happened is when they say that, okay, brother is, what's the proposal? No, I will not say that. No, everybody need to think together, because like you mentioned just now, education is evolving. We need to evolve. If not, we become obsolete. Because what was the point? Because people can access everything in MOOC and so on, isn't it? So why do you need a university? In fact, I can say that, well, might as well we close down Gambang campus. We have everything online. So these are the things we can save 6 million per month. So these are the things that we need to highlight to them. This is we need to work together. And this is the way forward. And then everybody must be involved. Okay, that's all, Dr. Syamsul.
Okay, thank you for the highlight of that one. So yang ni kita ada initial proposal, so everybody can send initial proposal. We see what our proposal kita boleh hantar, tapi everybody could send the initial proposal. So not only academics, but everybody. That's why I asked who are, whether there's any administrator, whether there's any support staff, because everybody could send. So from ideas to catalog, the fastest that we could actually get ideas to catalog is 3 months. Because kita kena go through 3 meeting. Itu je sebenarnya. First, initial proposal meeting. Second, full proposal meeting. Third, cataloging meeting. Ataupun Microcretial Liaison Officer Committee meeting. So the first one, Microcretial Committee meeting. Second, Microcretial Committee meeting. The third one is Microcretial Liaison Officer Committee meeting. So ada tiga meeting lah. So initial proposal submit to Microcretial unit. And then ada pitching session untuk market demand dan sebagainya. And then we go into full proposal. So that one, there's another full proposal. So kita ada review untuk full proposal. So yang ni bukan pitching lah. Yang ni kita akan panggil who are the one available, and then they just brief whatever dia orang punya proposal lah untuk full proposal. And then after that, they prepare the content in the platform. So this one using a Microcretial platform. So prepare, upload content, lepas to do all the videos. And then after that, kita approving content lah. So wait for learners to enroll. So in that case, we have the maximum limit. Ni sebenarnya maximum limit because just to make sure the currency of knowledge. So in that sense, from initial proposal to full proposal within 90 days or 120 days for one-off then stack respectively, and 180 days untuk nak prepare dalam platform. So maknanya kita bagi sampai 120 hari untuk daripada initial proposal sampai dapat full proposal. 3-4 months to prepare your full proposal sebenarnya. So a very long journey lah sebenarnya. Because initial proposal tu senang. Dia initial, I would really suggest kat siapa-siapa pun, kalau rasa tak sure ke, tak berapa pasti ke, just submit initial proposal. Submit initial proposal, get it reviewed, get it commented by Microcretial Committee. Tak apalah macam mana pun, saya akan review first round, Microcretial Committee akan review again. So get it done. So lepas tu nanti after you have done that, then we could take time to do your initial proposal, and then after that you have 6 months to prepare the whole content yang you buat tu dalam platform. I know that I'm giving a very long journey sebenarnya yang ni, dalam 9 bulan dah habis kan. Tetapi that's why I said the fastest that you could do is 3 months. The fastest 3 months, the longest that we will actually start to follow up is actually 9 months.
1 year lah.
1 year lah sebenarnya, 1 year. So maknanya this one all kita, tapi we will actually start to monitor satu-satu. Maknanya nanti kalau tengok nanti, we will actually monitor one by one siapa yang berkenaan tu.
Any courses, Dr. Syamsul, that maybe we say almost completed at the university level?
Okay, itu yang saya nak share sekejap.
That you can share with us. Give us some idea. I know on the Responsia just now, I met with him the other day. He was mentioning about the program. That one is interesting. It means that out of their College of Medicine curriculum actually, that one.
Memang. So yang ni, if you go into our website, sites Google, IUM.edu.my Microcretial, yang ni dia punya main website. Ni main website dia. You go, the idea is just go Microcretial IUM, lepas tu nanti dia akan letaklah dalam tu link kepada UIA punya Drive Office, and then dalam tu ada Microcret punya IUM office. You don't need to memorize, tapi sites google.com, IUM.edu.my Microcretial, tu je lah. So when you asking about the proposal yang dah ada, this is where the proposal already here, kalau ikutkan. These are all the list of approved proposal, kalau ikutkan. You could check lah dalam website. I am very transparent, semua boleh nampak. So these are all the list of approved proposal, mana yang proposal dah approve, semua sekali ni.
Just one question, Prof. Let's say our idea is almost the same to them. For example, Islamization practice, sustainable urban farming. These are the things that we also can do. Is it overlapping or not? Can we so introduce that something like that?
Can. That one, what happened ialah we will actually see whether it's exactly the same or whether it is a new area ke apa ke, boleh tak ada isu. Because sama macam dekat any other program dekat UIA lah. Ada yang sama, ada yang almost sama. Faham tak?
Yep.
Program pun ada sama. Program, the name of the course pun almost the same. But the content are still slightly different.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, Prof. Thank you.
So these are all list of proposal, and then these are the one that list of proposal require resubmission. So mana yang kena resubmit, so ni resubmit.
Sejahtera bahasa Melayu,
Ni resubmit.
Brother Raya ni, so can.
And then these are all the list of module yang kita dah approve for content development. Maksudnya siapa ni semua boleh buat dalam content lah, dah ada dalam Microcretial platform yang mana they could actually develop the content already. Okay. So and then
I have one idea already. Okay.
And then these are the one yang kita akan monitor lah. Maknanya siapa yang dah submit berapa hari yang nanti Liza akan, kita punya admin akan start tengok lah, hantar surat ke, hantar email ke, tanya mana bila nak hantar dan sebagainya lah. So these are the elapsed days. All these are made available to everyone lah. So just to make sure that everybody knows what are the module coming in, because what are the module currently being developed in catalog. I mean the main idea is so that kalau ada apa-apa yang rasa lebih kurang sama ke, I want to do collaboration ke apa, just contact the office or contact me, contact Liza, just ask them siapa yang buat tu, and then just email the guy, itu je. You could ask lah maknanya. Cuma saya tak nak letak siapa yang buat dalam ni because this is publicly available everywhere. So maknanya saya tak nak letak siapa semua sekali, itu je. So if you need, already integrated farming is by, if you want to know integrated farming is by Prof Azura. So saya boleh beritahu lah siapa-siapa nama yang macam Malay manuscript ni is by Dr. Manali. So all this we could actually read satu-satu nama siapa, tak ada isu pun.
Okay. We got idea lah, because these courses are not necessarily the courses offered by the kuliah. That's why
not necessary. It could be the offers course. It could be the courses not necessarily courses offered by the kuliah. Not even the offers offered by anybody pun sebenarnya dekat CFS. So you could build your own.
Correct.
So that's one. So ideas to catalog. So kita ada yang tu, and then what do you need to have an initial proposal? Kita ada demand, projection, how do you want to make sure sustainability, who are the creators, what are the learning outcome, as well as what are the topic. So itu sahaja yang ada dalam initial proposal. Nampak tak banyak lah, tapi dia ada banyak section lah, nak kena fill up projection dan sebagainya lah. And then creators, so it could be individual or group, so or IUM entity. So IUM entity maksudnya kuliah, department, unit dan sebagainya, or individual or group. These two are separate because individual or group they are doing it on their own, and then IUM entity meaning that they are doing it as part of the work as in the department. So those are two separate type of creators. Because individual or group maksudnya they do saying that this is the revenue sharing are directly to me. Bila IUM entity maknanya the revenue sharing is to the trust fund of either unit, department or KCDRM lah. So salah satu lah. So creators, if you want a competition, contohnya memancing ke, memasak ke.
Memancing ni, okay, one MC, insyaAllah. Memancing ni one MC, one MC from me.
Ya ke? Memasak ke, so you want a competition, so why not? Explain. Semua teknik-teknik yang ada yang berkenaan. So and then the easy part is your proof of competency is you won the competition. Contohnya lah paling senang kan. Dekat saya ada ikan dengan 30 kg ikan ni. So people will know already you are those champion, for example, to actually see they saw your credential lah, itulah sebenarnya. For example lah. So how much and then see who, how many and why lah. So these are the identification of what do you need to put inside. And then what are the projections, so industry demand, whether it's evergreen. Kalau macam Quran punya tu, Quran recitation, so evergreen. and then update kalau how long, how many, what's the revision or review, what's the frequency of review that you propose every year ke, every 3 months ke, every 6 years ke, 3 years ke dan sebagainya. So sustainable, so how do you want to sustain? What will you do if no learner in a year? When do you want to update? Who are your additional learner group? So, and then after finish the initial proposal, we go into the full proposal. So this is where we need to actually develop the content lah sebenarnya. So maknanya we need to actually create the video or audio, video 10 minit video, 10 minit video each maximum, or audio you could have it half an hour. And then learning time within 4 to 40 hours, 160 hours for stack. And then you need to figure out what are the content, delivery, activity, and learning artifacts. So all the 4 components so untuk online learning. And then we're going to cover into one off is just a peel of orange today, and stack is the whole orange. So that is the easy analogy lah. Maknanya bila dapat one off tu kita bagi satu batch, and bila dah siap tu kita once we finish the whole orange tu kita bagi another course credential atau course punya batch ataupun course punya certificate, depending lah how you want to actually offer it. And then kita ada 3 module, kita ada standard, capstone dengan premier. So capstone standard is fully online, premier is mainly face-to-face blended, yang mana we have prominent person giving the micro credential, and capstone is actually term-based culminating module lah. So when we compare the two, so macam premier is more towards short courses, blended. This one we make it to be in group, and then designed to be converted into standard MC. Maknanya when we do the short courses, you need to actually think about how to deliver the short courses so that it become an MC punya module later on. Maksudnya the activity, the delivery, semua tu kena arrange yang sesuai dengan micro credential. Bukannya simply kata kita bagi short course macam biasa. Because this one, masa short course yang premier module ni, somebody need to take video of that prominent person. So that at the end, kita convert boleh standard MC. And we could actually discuss with the prominent person what are the revenue sharing with them. Itu boleh kita boleh discuss juga. And it may not be the same as the standard revenue sharing. If the prominent person cakap kata saya nak arrange a different percentage lah. So that one we could actually arrange that lah. So capstone module culminating learning. So the one is term-based and fully online. So dia lebih kepada culminating lah. So what can we do inside the development module? Kita ada learning time, kita ada assessment, activity, learning outcome, content, stack dia tu, and instructor centered. And then this is when we talk about the type of micro credential that you could build lah. So this is where I want to cover the big difference lah. Satu, kita ada academic MC. I put that the term accredited academic MC, walaupun there is no such thing, accredited academic MC. I just put that because it's a misnomer lah sebenarnya kalau nak sebut as accredited academic MC, because there is any academic micro credential that is equivalent, kita boleh cakap equivalent to the current program, kita boleh panggil dia accredited academic MC lah. Tapi in our case maknanya kita ada dua, kita ada academic MC dengan standalone MC. When KPT or MQA talks about academic MC, is always MC that is linked to accredited program. So that's why saya sebut situ accredited academic MC, takut orang confused. So academic MC is always micro credential which is linked to an accredited academic program. So maknanya when we build an academic micro credential, so it's like we have that particular program, katakanlah physics, physics in dekat CFS, contohnya physics. So what happen is you unbundle that physics, the 3 credit hour course, into 1 hour credit hours MC. So physics basic, physics intermediate, physics advanced. Contohnya physics part 1, part 2, part 3 ke basic, intermediate, advanced, ikutlah nak buat macam mana. So you have the physics into 3 MC, and then that MC is into accredited program. Katakanlah ada accredited by MQA ataupun siapa yang berkenaan lah. So kita bagi yang tu. So is then whenever the guy or the person complete the 3 program, the 3 module ni, automatically they boleh request for credit transfer to an accredited module, accredited course. So maksudnya dia siap 3 program ni, dapat dah certificate tu, dia cakap kata I want to the credit transfer to physics in the CFS, Fizik dan CFS. Boleh lah. Maknanya dah settle lah.
Dan
lah kayaknya. Dah siap lah. Dia tak perlu dia nak ambil dekat CFS. Dia cakap saya dah siap dah benda tu. So done. So that one is one type. Academic MC. Bila kita sebut academic, sebenarnya accredited academic lah. Tak bukan non-accredited, accredited academic. Saya nak kena sebut accredited situ takut orang salah faham. Because there is another one which is we term it there is another one standalone MC. Ini from MQA and KPT point of view. They call it standalone MC. When they term standalone MC, for us is actually kita categorize is as professional or personal development. Tapi from KPT punya point of view, dia hanya sebut academic dan standalone. Itu dia punya term lah. Tapi kita bagi clarify lebih jelas supaya standalone tu apa benda dalam standalone tu. Standalone ada dua, professional or standalone personal development. I don't want to put standalone academic because nanti jadi confusing. So therefore, any academic courses that is inspired from any module that is inspired from academic courses will be considered as a professional courses. Because memang professional course lah sepatutnya. So maknanya macam physics, it's so-called a professional course. So maknanya kalau katakanlah any from academic course, kita consider professional course because it's inspired from academic course. It's not, dia tak mapping 100%, tapi dia inspired. Maksudnya dia ambil sikit-sikit everywhere, dia jadikan dia module. It's not 100% of the academic module. Dia ambil here and there. So that one inspired, so we consider as a standalone professional module. So professional module could be professional course, could be association, yang kita work out dengan association, as well as it could be inspired from academic courses. So 3 tu. And then another course that we could do, another module that we could do is a personal development module, which is any module of personal interest or and community interest. Maknanya mana-mana yang community minat, mana-mana yang personal minat. So that one could be another personal development module. So kita categorize kepada 3 lah. Sebenarnya academic MC and standalone MC. So academic MC is yang mana kita link dengan accredited program, ada course dalam accredited program. And then standalone MC is professional and personal development. Siapa yang professional tu, kita ada professional, association and inspired from academic. As well as yang personal development tu ialah personal interest or community interest. So in that sense, kalau ikutkan, bila saya sebut macam ni, maknanya MC tu anything under the sun lah sebenarnya. Because tak ada apa yang kita tak cover. Kita cover everything. So sebenarnya MC tu could be anything. So in that case, MC is anything under the sun lah. So that's a bigger picture yang mana anybody could do MC. Itu je lah saya boleh cakap. So personal interest could be hobi, memasak ke, memancing ke, mengait ke. So and then kalau community interest could be insaf tu could be community interest, maksudnya community gardening, that could be community interest and so on lah. So those are the thing. Because bila kita masuk yang macam association, professional, is more to macam industri. Industri nak apa? That one become professional lah. Itu je sebenarnya. So bila anything to do in industry, then it become professional. Anything to do with personal or community, then become personal development. So and then academic module generally is credit transfer from accredited program stack. So kita ada recognize appel and identify entry requirement lah. So this is just to say that whenever there is a professional module so please consult with professional body or association because at the end of the day association ni kita boleh cakap kata ada setengah association ni boleh jadi personal module, boleh jadi professional module because association ni kadang-kadang persatuan memasak. Ada setengah nak letak bawah personal development, ada setengah nak letak bawah professional. So how do you want to put it? Because persatuan memasak contohnya could be under hospitality, which is a professional, or it could be just memasak di rumah. So how do you capture that? So up to you lah, association ni. So I mean that is depend on how you want to structure because later on kita akan tengok kita punya platform macam mana kita structure lah. Content delivery activity, so this is the key definition lah. What is the content, what is delivery activity and artifact lah. Kita ada 4 benda ni yang kita kena tengok So key ideas dia, kita ada capstone, kita ada creator, nak kena decide grade atau competency, and then kita ada stack So this is the basic one lah. So kita ada learning outcome, content, delivery, kena ada activity atau artifact. And then learning outcome, kena ada satu artifact. Artifact is assessment lah. And then kalau content, ada satu yang besar content, kalau lebih daripada 30 minit, 10 minutes, you need to actually break it down into smaller content. Itu sahaja. So that is the main concept. So kita ada 10-minute video, advice within 5 to 10 minutes, and then one delivery, one activity or artifact. So one delivery can have 5, both lah, maximum 5 each type lah. So that one kita baca daripada sini tadi lah, macam mana gaya nak buat tu. Yang ni nanti kita akan cerita dekat Syamsuddin in totality, so siapa-siapa nak tahu dengan lebih jelas boleh kacau dia lah. Because this one is a basic concept je, saya beritahu. So I mean it's easy enough, cuma kadang-kadang ada orang confused lah, itu jelas sebenarnya. So but I think most of the developer yang micro-credential dah faham it very well lah. But bear in mind that bila buat micro-credential is totally different compared to face-to-face. So I think that's the main idea. So this is where the learning activity kita nak ada dia punya percentage of where we want to cover lah. Kalau boleh, but not necessarily following this one. So we may need to do some prerequisite. So identify lah whatever prerequisite for the MC. So and then there is also learners learning time. Kita ada instructor time, independent learning, and then artifact-nya time built with supervision lah. So bila kita tengok yang tu, kita ada daripada learning outcome, kita ada content, kita ada video kita nak buat deliver, and then berapa minit video tu, what ada activity kita nak buat dengan dia orang dalam online, how long do we want to spend time with them, and then what are the assessment. So it's always moving that way. So this one just talking about the passing criteria lah, whether we want to have rubric or some other method. And then this is just to show the learners learning time lah. So video 25 minit, video 10 minit dan sebagainya. And then yang ni kita ada multiple of 3 untuk instructor centered. And then we need to estimate dia orang punya time untuk preparation, untuk learning activity, artifact dan sebagainya lah. And then this one is just list ataupun kita ada instructor supervision punya time. So total macam yang tadi, yang example tu saya bagi 5 jam lah. So and then ada artifact, these are other artifact. So manual, newspaper article, quiz, not necessarily assessment yang kita buat dah. Because contohnya berada kan. So kalau katakanlah nak buat memancing tu, not necessary kita cakap kata quiz memancing. No, kita boleh cakap kat dia pergi dekat kolam memancing, ambil video contoh macam mana nak letak dalam tu, saya akan access okey ke tak? Itu teknik dia. Bukan dia cakap kata berikut adalah senarai jenis-jenis pancing yang boleh digunakan. Itu satu, itu boleh nak tanya secara teori, tetapi kena ambil video kalau nak bagi kompetensi boleh mancing. Tunjuk saya bawa joran, ambil video, tunjuk macam mana nak letak umpan dekat joran. So, tunjuk macam mana kita nak tabur joran tu. Whether teknik dia tu betul atau tak. So itu adalah benda yang kita akan assess. So that is the one when we talk about micro-credential, we talk about skill and competency. So not necessarily macam dalam kelas. So that is the one yang saya nak beritahu lah. So kita dia ambil video, dia ambil apa gambar, whatever lah that you want to decide. So this is just a module code. Yang ni nanti kita akan tengok bila masa dah dapat approval nantilah. So that one kita boleh discuss bila dapat approval. So when we want to put the developing content, kita ada learning online, different face to face, imagine your learner, is it enough or not? So these are all the what do you call it, disruptive innovation yang dah masuk. So Udacity, Skillshare, EDAC, FutureLearn, Udemy, Coursera, Han, Masterclass dan sebagainya.
In fact, some of this we are also using it in our classes actually.
Ya, betul.
For example, Khan Academy tu, we are using the video from them.
Okay, so these are all the disruptive technology or disruptive innovation that already comes to us. So hopefully somehow we could actually evolve lah. Itu je lah. So action plan, so curriculum, content, lepas tu redo of the curriculum and content lah. And then kita nak kena ada genuine punya credential. So that's why UIA yang maintain and control that. So with that, thank you very much for listening. So kita ada initial proposal, full proposal, module content and cataloging. So when we talk about mastery, we talk about instruction yang kita bagi, practice that the learner need to have, the assessment. So kita ada instructor center delivery, activity and feedback, artifact. So once we have all this, then they could have mastery or they could have the learning outcome that we want. So with that, thank you very much, and kita goes into the Q&A session lah. So saya pass balik ke Syamsuddin lah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Syamsul, and thank you for the participation. One question to highlight in the YouTube. Brother Shaukat asked, who are the target customer or client? Is it anybody, anyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so the target customer untuk Microcretial is anybody on the globe yang boleh access to internet.
Anybody that can pay.
Kalau you nak, kita boleh buat blended lah kalau nak. So that one we could arrange apa yang kita boleh bawa ke campus lah. Salah satu. But the focus will be the 80% of the focus will be anybody that have accessible to internet.
Yes, correct.
Itu the target market lah. Tapi spesifik target market, umur berapa, siapa, di mana, lokasi mana, that one the creator need to decide lah. But from MC point of view, anybody with access to internet.
Anybody, yeah.
So siapa-siapa di dunia lah. That's why our platform is available across the world. So tak kisah. Cuma sekarang ni saya nak kena check dia punya analytics tu ada tak orang selain daripada Malaysia access. Tu je lah nanti.
Dr. Syamsul, my question of my own, is there any approved and already fully developed MC program by our staff that we can look at and can join?
Okay, yang dah ada, kalau yang saya cakap kata approve module for development tu ada, approve module that already fully developed tu tak ada. Approve module
the one that you show just now lah.
The one yang saya show tadi lah, yang the one yang saya show tadi. So kalau nak belajar awal-awal, then this is the one lah. Yang ini satu in-heart, yang ini daripada in-heart, yang ini daripada edu. Tapi edu ni pun tak develop lagi lah, dua-dua tak develop lagi. So but if you want to talk, and then most probably in-heart is the best person lah, because in-heart already have some video, and then dia punya activity dengan tu saya rasa tak masuk lagi. I could check, kita boleh check dalam platform, I don't think they develop anything yet lah sebenarnya. Kalau ikutkan, at least malam saya check tak ada apa-apa lagi. I think you could see my screen kan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So if I'm not mistaken, Sejahtera in-heart have not done anything lah. Saya check, because I pass to them, so administrator boleh check tiap satu modul, tapi seingat saya dia tak isi apa-apa lagi. They don't do anything yet. So they I mean they could do, but they don't do anything yet lah until now. So pasal semua ni dah ada kat dia orang. Now it's up to them to develop the content inside the platform lah sebenarnya. Saya pun nak tengok macam mana dia develop the content inside the platform.
So one MC that fully completed that we can join as a participant belum ada lagi lah.
Belum ada lagi. That one belum ada lagi.
Just wondering how would it look like lah when the finished product kan?
Itulah saya pun that is the one yang CPD saya dengan this Prof Azura are trying to actually work out lah. So to see how they are developing this one lah. Because dia ada banyak, because nanti daripada from the content, and then ada activity, and then ada assessment. So how she is trying to do that. And bear in mind, the Prof Azura punya is actually a Sejahtera module. So what it is she actually give a free module. The module itself is free, tapi nak dapat credential kena bayar.
Yeah. Dr. Syamsul, just one question ni. Ustaz Kazman Al-Hafiz, I want to make a micro-credential on Tahfiz program. Can we do that? Can we do that?
Can.
Micro-credential on Tahfiz program.
Boleh, can.
10 surah or something like that. That they should memorize, and then they get micro-credential. IUM micro-credential on that. Possible?
Can. It's possible. Boleh, possible.
Nobody have done that, Ustaz Kazman. So please do it.
Can. Boleh. Memang boleh.
Okay, Dr. Syamsul, one more question by Dr. Fatima. So IUM is going to market the courses, not the designer or instructor?
Okay, the courses will be marketed through the platform. However, we will be working closely with OCAP. Corporate punya promotion. We'll be working closely with OCAP as well as CPD on what are the ways that we could actually promote this effectively lah sebenarnya. That is one. However, when we talk about marketing, ada dua part. Ada satu is on marketing it outside. Lagi satu ialah on developing the marketing content. On developing the marketing content tu, that one will be based on the individual creator lah, because creator knows well what to market. Maksudnya contohnya kalau you pergi tengok masterclass kan ada keluar dekat iklan macam-macam kan. You have been spent, cerita, tutan. Those kind of marketing videos we need to be developed by the creators. Tapi in term of nanti video tu letak kat mana, video tu macam mana kita nak make sure kata get the audience, that one we will actually help to get lah. But you need to give us the target learner lah. Maknanya you tak boleh nak cakap kata okay market kat siapa-siapa yang berkenaan. Doesn't make sense. So maknanya bila nanti kita akan request budget, kalau perlu dekat social media ke, perlu dekat Facebook ke untuk nak letak all this iklan ni, we need to have the target learner. That's why we need to have the target learner. Berapa umur dia nanti saya nak kena tanya, berapa age dia semua. Pasal bila nak masuk social media punya platform for advertisement, when we get, we gonna request a certain budget they want. So maknanya nanti we need to get the age, the group, gender, principality, semua dia punya karakter, semua kena ada. Dia punya target market tu. Because kalau tak nanti terlalu besar, nobody will be interested. You need to know very well who is your target market. That's one. And you need to know how to market to these guys. Because contohnya macam ni lah. Macam kita nak cakap, kita nak cerita dekat dia. How are we going to sell that product to them through video? I think that is the idea lah. Tapi nak to get to the target market, we could actually help lah. But on the video, maksudnya nanti you nak cerita konten, kita tak boleh nak cerita konten pun. So is the creator need to apa ni? Tapi kalau you need help on macam yang bahagian-bahagian lain, macam apa dah, we could actually work out with OCAD, we could actually work out with CPD kalau ada perlu help untuk all the teknik ke, the tools ke untuk editing apa ke, yang itu kita boleh lah work out with other party. Tapi for the video content itself memang kena creator yang buat.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Another question, Doctor. If by Brother Nazim, if we develop professional development MC, who will own the approved model? The creator or the IUM?
Professional
development MC. The professional under the professional just now lah.
Okay. So who will own apa?
On the ownership.
Will own the cost in terms of intellectual property right? Yeah, IP.
Okay. The copyright, any module developed in UIA, the copyright will be shared between UIA and the creators. That is one. Tapi yang ni saya nak kena tunggu legal unit tak datang lagi dah final copy . So nanti bila dah betul-betul nanti saya boleh cakap lah . But at the moment the proposal based on discussion sampai level rector last time was the copyright will be shared between 50-50 between the creators and UIA. That's one. Although the 50-50 between UIA itu satu. Dan yang keduanya ialah we have a clause there saying that creators, mana-mana yang creator ada tu give an exclusive right to IUM Microcretial platform for the content lah. Maknanya lebih kepada kita bagi letak kat platform lain lah, itu je sebenarnya. Yalah. So the copyright is still 50-50. Cuma kita tak bagi letak kat platform lain. Maksudnya you give the rights to IUM punya platform. Itu je.
Betul. Understood. Biasalah tu.
Okay, are there any more questions? YouTube sekarang tak ada dah. Chat tak ada. Any members probably live right now who would like to ask?
Clear lah insyaAllah.
So what's our next step after this briefing, Doctor?
Okay, the next step after this briefing is to send in the initial proposal lah. Maknanya itu je, saya very easy.
Ada.
The next step is
kita get ready 2-3 dah. Yang itu post SPM. The other day we propose post SPM program the other day. We have a post SPM program. I think that one can be tabled as the microcredential.
Boleh. Then we know the target market already sebenarnya. Yep. Okay. So the next step, if you ask Syamsul, the next step is probably just open up the website sebenarnya, and then goes to download form. And then pergi pilih initial proposal. And then dia ada dua dalam ni. Satu ialah untuk this is when we put in initial proposal, kita just nak present lah. Ni nak present dekat komiti what it is all about dan sebagainya. Adalah yang ni ada template lah. Template ni just a template. So you change whatever you want to do. But this is the form, initial proposal form. Untuk siapa-siapa pun saya just baca kat sini lah, since Syamsuddin tanya kat saya, so saya just cakap kata these are the forms that needs to be filled up. Kalau saya boleh besarkan dia sikit.
Yang dia persen-persen tu, can you elaborate a little bit, bro?
Nah, itulah nak besarkan skrin ni. Skrin ni tidak membesar. Macam mana nak besarkan skrin ya? Boleh nampak tak?
Boleh nampak lah, tapi boleh.
Boleh lah.
Zoom.
Okay.
Okay. Boleh nampak.
So now better lah. Okay, so I'll just cover this one. This is the form that you need to actually fill up. So mana siapa-siapa yang nak buat, this is the initial proposal, because saya letak initial and then update final is because when we start it's always initial. Bila masa final proposal nanti kita akan update apa-apa yang berkenaan. So maknanya any mistake boleh ditukar lah. Itu je sebenarnya. Adalah kita boleh update balik. So insert yang one on ni title. Okay, yang percentage ni kita ada 3 jenis. Yang mana type 1, type 2 is for the individual or group creators. So this one is not unit punya creator lah, bukan entity within UIA. So what happen ialah type 1 kita ada creator pegang 45%. Type 2, kita ada creator pegang 30 and instructor 45. So maknanya yang ni nanti kata kalau creator dah siap buat, kita akan bayar ke instructor that 15% lah, siapa-siapa instructor per learner. So maknanya daripada RM100, katakanlah RM100 tu, RM30 kita akan bagi dekat creator, RM15 dekat learner. Setiap learner kita akan bayar RM15.
Jadi
instructor kot.
Setiap instructor kita akan bayar RM15. Setiap creator kita akan bayar RM30. So instructor katakanlah dia jaga 10 student, dapatlah 150. Dia jaga 200 student, dapatlah berapa darab je lah. So maknanya dia dapat, katakanlah kita charge RM100, dia dapat RM15 per learner. Itu sahaja sebenarnya dia punya tu. Maksudnya this is where dia nak interact, dia nak buat assessment sikit, apa yang berkenaan lah. Depend how you want to arrange that lah. So tu satu. So lain daripada tu, kalau sejahtera modul this is where kita bagi banyak dekat instructor, because module itself tu free. Module itself tu free. So kita tak ada apa nak bayar dekat creator. Cuma dalam saya punya proposal tu, kita ada cakap kata creator boleh dapat RM200 dengan syarat dia ada certain number of learner register nanti. Faham tak? So maknanya dia create module free, tetapi once the module tu ada learner above threshold, kita akan bayar honorarium, something like that. Tapi kena lepas above certain honorarium, certain threshold lah. For a simple reason, because then the module itself become a promotion for UIA. Itu sebab kita bayar. It's a promotion. We propose for the payment is because it's a promotional. So now the module become a promotion for UIA. So it's more to paying a promotion for UIA lah for having the module. So tapi kalau orang tu nak ambil credential dia tu, dan we pay 45% all to instructor, because instructor yang nak kena buat assessment semua. So we pay 100% to instructor for the free module. Kalau katakanlah ada collaboration outside, this is where you need to fill this thing lah. Kalau ada collaboration, kalau tak just delete je lah semua ni. Kalau ada isi, kalau tak delete je. So ni pun sama, kalau tak customize, kalau tak sejahtera you pilih lah, sejahtera atau customize dan sebagainya. So that is where all. So lagi satu, yang ini lebih kepada who ada revenue sharing lah. Yang ini revenue sharing kalau individual creator macam mana, stack macam mana dan sebagainya lah. Kalau entity dan yang ini semua, kalau entity dan maknanya yang ini tak ada lah. Kalau entity sahaja, yang ini kita tak ada sangat lah. Okay. So maknanya identify AM group creator, identify appropriate criteria for revenue sharing, trust fund, not applicable for individual group creator. So yang ini lebih kepada kita nak tengok kalau entity lah. So itu je.
Okay, thank you Dr. Syamsul. One last question by Brother Ahmad Rawyani. At CFS, we sometimes required to teach other courses that may be unrelated to our qualification. Is it possible for our staff to request expert from the kuliah to offer such MC?
Boleh, kalau boleh discuss dengan dia orang boleh. Tak ada isu pun. Saya tak nampak apa isu pun. It is possible to do that. Memang boleh pun. Boleh discuss dengan siapa yang berkenaan untuk nak buat. So then the learner could actually learn about the courses lah. Why not? Learn through MC lah. Boleh, possible.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, I believe that we are out of time already. I thank you all, Dr. Syamsul, and also all the participants who have been present here. I believe that we are very much enthusiastic in regards to this MC, and Dr. Syamsul also just now explained on what is the next step after this briefing, which is the initial proposal. And that's it. If there is any
lepas tu
question,
boleh hantar kat sini, boleh hantar, lupa nak cakap. Boleh hantar dekat platform juga tau. Ada boleh hantar dekat platform yang ni. Just sorry to interrupt, brother Syamsul. Boleh hantar kat sini. The submission also here.
Oh, okay.
Online.
Submission also online. So just pergi ni, download here. So you download here form, so and then when you submit here, and then just fill out the form. Fill out the form, so semua just fill lah yang ni, apa yang berkenaan ni.
Okay, done.
Okay.
Tapi kalau tadi yang form tadi tu, doktor, we download as a separate file and then we fill and then kita akan kena upload lah balik macam tu.
Yeah, because kalau saya bagi contoh yang ni, saya bagi contoh, I just give you example if you were to submit the first one, just to be to make it very easy lah.
Yeah.
Ni submit ni, lepas tu carilah CFS, lepas tu new proposal. Ni katakan tak pernah review, no. Bila meeting, so kita ada September punya meeting, assuming next meeting lah. Okay. Next. So and then just put the title. Katakanlah next title. And then after that just upload cover page, upload initial proposal, upload presentation, and done.
Alright. Boleh.
Okay, alright.
Okay, Tuan Guru, sekejap lagi kita buat.
Tahfiz ada mancing, ada coming, insyaAllah.
Tahfiz.
Okay, thank you.
I see that the Tahfiz program not yet in the listed approved. I think that one.
Betul, yang tu tak ada lagi, memang tak ada lagi.
Alright, thank you. I would like to thank everyone for making this a successful briefing, insyaAllah. So that's it. Let's end our session with Tasbih Kafarah.
Ambil gambar kejap boleh?
Boleh.
Brother Syam, siapa yang ada berkenaan ni, kita ambil gambar.
Bendera Malaysia lagi.
Just in case I heard Usama mention Eternalist is in the chat. And also in the YouTube, by the way. I already posted. Thank you.
Bendera Malaysia lagi. Merdeka. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nice, thank you. At the end saya dah habis dah Kuantan campus dan Kuantan Gambang dengan apa ni. Semua lain daripada Gombak tinggal.
Nanti kita patutnya belanja air ni, Brother Hussein. Mana air tak ada ni. Allah.
Sekarang ni dah sepatutnya boleh minum dah kan.
Betul lah, kita ada kiss. Okay, but congratulations lah Dr. Syamsul. I think it's a good presentation lah.
Okay, thank you. See you again sometime insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you all.
Thank you.